famous duck cake. And I was just saying that was one of our best sellers of the year. So
all down to that. It's got nothing to do with Princess Catherine. Nobody picked it up for that.
A princess or a duck cake?
Yes, exactly. Oh dear. We can probably,
Yeah, no, so
Lauren's just going to be 1 minute, Alana. She's just a bit.
Okay, well, we'll do some introductions. Agnes and then Lauren from the team will also join. So my name's Alana and I work with Isabel and we work for a PR agency in Australia. So we're delighted to be working with the BBC Studios team on Duck Cake and the cafe. So we basically, the genesis is we had this nugget of an idea and we spoke to the lovely team at BBC Studios and we all agreed that we really wanted to lean in. So Madeline, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello, I'm Madeline, you can call me Maddie. I have to say, Tiff, we've worked together before. So
yes, I was like, my gosh, another lifetime ago. I was like, I know that face.
Yes, and I was jealous back then, so not Santos. But it's lovely to meet you, Agnes. It's lovely to see you, Tiff. So I head up the brands and marketing team for BBC Studios. So very lucky to work on Bluey as well as some other BBC Studios brands. But I have a deeper connection because I used to work for Australian Women's Weekly for Bauer and I worked in the cookbook. So I actually worked on the anniversary. I'm trying to figure out, because it's 45 years of the cookbook this year. I worked on a previous anniversary edition, so it's very kind of special and near and dear to me. And I worked closely with Tiff when she was the editor of Dolly.
Yes, that's so true. Travelling around the country.
Full circle. Yeah.
I know.
Just joined us too.
Hi guys, lovely to meet you. I'm Lauren. I work with Maddie at BBC Studios and I'm the communications manager, so looking after all the publicity in Australia and New Zealand for Bluey.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, and honestly there's so many more of us, but we thought we'll just keep it to this tight team for today. But Agnes, we just wanted to hop on a call. We knew that you were catching up with Tiffany today and we just wanted to say hello and say a huge thank you as well for allowing us to partner with yourself. Obviously the duck cake is such an iconic invention, if that's the right word. And yeah, we're so pleased that we're able to work so closely with yourself and A-Dub Dub on this moment for hopefully for everyone, to be honest. You know, there's a little piece of the story for everyone in this. So in terms of this call, we just thought it would be nice just to obviously see each other's faces. I can run you through a schedule of what our kind of launch day is looking like. Obviously capture any questions that you have, but obviously if you go away and you think of any other questions, obviously Tiffany is your point person, and then Tiffany is obviously just kind of will come back to us and let us know what other things that you would like to know ahead of time. So we can go through the schedule and then hopefully not too cheeky, but we're actually starting to talk to media this week, letting them know that this is coming, putting it on their radar. There's a couple of little details that I'd love to get from you, just if you're happy to kind of, it's just some colour that I can add to that pitch when I'm letting media know who we're working with, so we can get to that at the end. They're quite easy questions. But in terms of the day, Agnes, am I right in Tiffany, sorry if I speak out of turn. Agnes, am I right? Have you seen the press release that we've pulled together that has the messaging and of what the event is?
that's the one I sent with your quote in it to check that you're okay with the quote.
Yeah, I've seen it and it's fine.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So hopefully that kind of summarises the intention of the idea. But essentially the Bluey team does such a great job in creating real world activations for kids to truly step inside that Bluey world, and that's what we want to do in Bondi during our event window. So essentially it's a Bluey's Duck Cake Cafe, obviously inspired by your famous invention, and the little kiddies will come with their parents. They'll book into the cafe over the Saturday and the Sunday, and they basically get to enjoy decorating our little duckling cupcakes. So it's a really nice hands-on moment, and then obviously, of course, important for kids is they then get to meet Bluey at that experience as well. So they'll get a photograph, etc. So it's a lovely wee moment during the kids' holidays. obviously the important day for us as a media team is Friday, which is our launch moment. So just so you know, we will be announcing that tickets become available or live on that date. And we expect that they'll sell out or book out pretty quickly. And so yes, it's a really important day, and I think it will be quite busy. But we obviously want to manage your schedule just so it feels manageable, and you know exactly what your responsibilities are that day. But of course, Tiffany is going to be on site,
Yeah.
and you'll be working very closely with Maddie from BBC. So you guys will be partnered and paired together. So I'll start to run through the schedule, and Agnes, we'll obviously formalise that based on our discussions in media, so it might change a little bit. But what we're thinking at the moment is around 7:30 is probably when we'll ask you to get to site with Madeline. And we'll also, as a team, we'll have a videographer and a photographer on site who will be capturing nice video footage and nice photographs. Now that's our team, so we control that. So we'll just make sure that when you get to site, you're introduced to those teams and you know what is required of you, but they'll be there to direct you. I've seen your lovely piece of video that you did with the AWW before, so you'll be an absolute expert at that. That's no problem at all. One thing that we'll probably do to help you is the videographer will probably ask you a couple of questions, obviously just all about your experience and your inspiration for Duck Cake, and maybe what does it mean to see this come to life as a real world activation. We'll go away as a team and script that for you, but of course you can obviously adapt it, say it in your own words, but give you a steer of what questions will be asked of you before.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sure.
when you get there, your family arrive too. We'll get you settled, and then we'll get you in for filming with those teams. We don't want to get our little kids there too early because we think it will be quite an exhausting day, especially for the parents to try and manage them. So I think we're probably looking at maybe an 8:30 arrival for the kids. That's TBC, but we think that feels right. We've just had news that the Today Show would like to film with us at 8:50, so that's kind of like your big kind of key media moment at the moment for TV. So again, we're just waiting for some more information, but we know that the Today team will certainly send down a camera, and again, it might be that you will talk directly with the presenters in studio, or they might actually send a news reporter down and it'll be in person. But again, they'll be down, I think, well, they'll go live at 8:50. I think they'll get there an hour before, so we'll just make sure that you have plenty of time to talk to them and be pre-briefed in terms of what that segment looks like and you feel as comfortable as possible. But it's a very good news, upbeat, positive story, and almost to end their show. So we think, you know, no watch outs for us. It's just very cute. There'll be Bluey on camera. There'll obviously be the kids at that point as well. So a nice kind of positive piece. Then when we have you, we're going to be really cheeky. We're going to take some of your time where Isabel and I will be looking after some media opportunities. So as I say, we're going to start talking to journalists today, but we might have some media that we want you to facilitate on the ground. Again, it's just very, very light-hearted Q&As. We'll make sure that you have full visibility of that before you arrive on the day, and we'll work very closely with Tiffany on that too. So that should take us up to around 10 a.m. And then at 10 a.m, we're really excited that David McCormack, who is our Bluey voice talent, he is the voice of Bandit, he will be on site with us as well. So that's brilliant. Obviously, it's amazing when you get any type of talent related to the show involved in a campaign like this. So when David arrives, we will do content capture with David exactly as we've done with you earlier that day, and we'll also probably be doing some press with David as well, separate to the press that you'll do. So TBC if we will pair you with David in that moment. I think it might be a case that once you wrap at 10 a.m, you get to break and enjoy just some time with your family. So make sure you have coffee, have some refreshments, and then the media's done. And then what we'll move into at 11 a.m. is what we're dubbing our influencer masterclass. So obviously you're very integral to that piece. We are in talks with Nadine at the moment, who is going to supply some duck cakes for us, which is great. because it means that we don't need to try and make them, which would be a disaster.
And Nadia is here today, which is good. So
Oh, Nadia, sorry, Nadia, perfect, gorgeous. So and also Agnes, Nadia's actually also going to create some little duckling cupcakes. So when you're talking to the Today Show, the guys in the studio will have little cupcakes that they can be trying, and as they're talking to you, basically to bring them closer to the story. So we're so thankful for her help. And then so the influencer session, so we'll have 2 sessions on the day. The first one will be 11 to 12 p.m. and the next one will be 12:30 to 1:30. So they're an hour long. Obviously these are a lot of times and things that I'm throwing at you, so we'll make sure that this is all in our 1-pager document that you'll have in good time. But essentially the sessions are, I'd say it's a launch moment, and we want to announce that these tickets are available so that we get parents signing up, booking their kids in as soon as possible. So essentially what we're doing is we're inviting a number of influencers or content creators to site, where essentially those guys are very good at posting on social media, sharing messages, capturing really lovely pictures. So we're going to work with those guys as our little kind of task force to just spread the word very quickly. So in terms of what that session will look like, again, we're still working through it. However, we're working for you to have an unfinished duck cake, which will be on site. So influencers will come, they'll enter the space. There's obviously going to be lovely bluey photo moments that our art and design team are working on at the moment. So it will appear as if they're in the Healer family kitchen. And we'll also have like a resin bluey duck cake so that kids can recognize that cake from the cartoon, from the show. And then they'll go through the next area, which is essentially where you'll be stationed. And Maddie will probably give a welcome to everyone and thank them for joining. And then what Maddie will do is she'll introduce you as the original kind of cake creator. And Tiffany will be alongside you and will help facilitate that little introduction. It's obviously little kids and it's parents. They'll be very excited to be there. So it's not like a long Q&A, but it's just more for the guys to understand who you are, how important you are to duck cake, and that it came from your mind. And then the kids will get on and start decorating. And so that you have, something to do, for better words of an expression, but we obviously know that people will want to see you in action, doing what you do best. So we'll have that unfinished duck cake there that you can be decorating. And obviously, because influencers, by the very nature of their job, they may want to capture some pictures with you, or be videoing you as you're kind of doing your cake as well. So we just think it would be very sweet having you there doing your duck cake alongside our little kids who'll be doing their little duckling cupcakes. So that's that. And then obviously kids, I imagine that people will probably want to ask you if they can have a photograph of you, and then they'll want to go through to the next little part of our activation where they'll get to meet Bluey and they'll get their own photographs too. So it's a very sweet little session. Obviously Tiffany will be there to kind of guide you, and that's it in the main team. That was a lot for me. Is there anything that I may have missed?
No, I think you've covered it all beautifully.
You have, and you've got some other meeting participants in the room as well. We've got Agnes's daughter and son-in-law here too.
How
So
are you?
they've heard everything, and there's been some very pleased sounds coming from the background.
We're shocked.
Sorry.
I think one little thing I was going to mention is I think Dave, who plays Bandit, will probably stick around for the first influencer session.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just work through what he's going to do. Obviously, he's not as talented as you as decorating.
But isn't that part of the point? Yeah.
But he's really good fun. So he's going to stick around, I think, until about 12 o'clock, and then he'll head off. So, but we'll introduce you, obviously, to him as well when he arrives that morning. But yeah, no, that's awesome. Thanks, Alana.
No,
Do you guys have any questions, Agnes? I know it's a lot of info. Well, Tiffany, I know it's a lot of information.
Did you have any questions, Agnes? No.
Not really at this stage.
No, I think, it was very thorough.
Yeah.
Agnes is going to bring her own spatula because it's well used and good for the duck cake flip. And then I guess, do you just need us to bring some bowls and cake tins and the stuff that you'd normally make things in?
Yeah, I think whatever you feel comfortable with. Like, obviously it's great that you guys are together today just to collab on what you might need. But yes, I think any kind of props and things like that, best place that they stay with you. As I say, very challenged in the baking / cooking department, and I don't want to vouch for the events team either. So
That's
absolutely.
okay. Wonderful.
If I could be so cheeky, Agnes, now so as I was saying, we're talking to media this week, and we're obviously introducing the fact that we're working with you. There's a couple of little details that I'd love to add. By all means, if there's anything you're like, no, I'd rather not include that, then please just let me know. It's always helpful to give our spokesperson's age. Is that something that you would be happy to reveal?
Yeah, that's fine.
So can I ask what age you are, Agnes?
I'm 80,
81
in December.
Oh, wow.
Oh, almost right.
Well, you're absolutely gorgeous and completely glamorous for a Monday morning. I have to say.
I know, right?
Thank you.
And it's definitely not the lighting in this place.
Right. And Agnes, can I ask if you could put a year? What year would you say that you created the duck cake?
So you started here in 1978,
Yes.
and it was the last book.
1980. The
book
was
came out
launched.
in 1980, but it was the last cake that
Cake.
made the book.
Yeah,
so
so
you think it
it's
was
almost
really?
around that. Yeah.
79?
Yeah, would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say probably, yeah.
1979. Love
Yeah,
that.
so it was literally the very last cake that
Yeah,
went
the
into
last
the book.
cake.
Oh,
Right,
is that because
cool.
it's the most difficult one?
Yes, it was a difficult one. Because normally when we are asked to make a cake, we can make it the way we want, like two dimensions or three dimensions. But this one, the editor say, I want a 3-dimension duck cake, not a 2-dimension.
Yeah.
So it's not just a cutout,
Yeah.
but freestanding duck.
Yeah.
The showstopper.
We didn't know at that time.
Yeah. Actually, maybe say 1980, because I don't think it would have taken as long to turn things around as maybe, I don't think we were sending things to China back then. Yeah.
Okay, 1980. We'll put that.
Mhm.
And Agnes, I'm right in thinking that you're based in Sydney.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, great, fabulous. And then I guess again, totally open. I just wondered in terms of your retirement, like when you retired, am I right in saying that you still bake now? Is it something that you enjoy doing with your family?
Yes, I do. I continue cooking because I retired from the Women's Weekly after working 7 years with the Weekly. And then I joined also the food industry. I joined Nestle, and I was there over 20 years. And my 2 girls love cooking, so that's my achievement.
I think you've got a few more outside of that, but sure.
I got the lovely paragraph that Tiffany had crafted about your time at the AWW as well, which was beautifully written.
Oh,
So
thank you.
we have those info. But yeah, no, I think that's all we need then. So Agnes, as I said, we'll go away as a team. We're starting to let people know that it's happening, and then if we do get any specific requests that can't be just serviced with your quote, we'll obviously let you know. But we really genuinely appreciate your support. I hope that you enjoy the moment as well. It's obviously, I can't imagine what it would be like to create something and then see it pop up in one of the world's most famous shows.
And
Agnes, I was going to say, can I ask you a question? And I don't know if it's true, so that's what I wanted to know. I read somewhere that you threw the original duck cake in the bin after the photo shoot, but then they had to get it back out the bin for a reshoot.
yes, it was true because we will photograph the cake, and we won't throw it out until we get okay and say the transparency came out good. Everyone is happy, the chief editor is happy. And then when I asked the photographer, Russell, that came in and said, Russell, approved? Approved. Then it went into the bin straight in because it's been sitting there to wait for approval. So it's all solid and hard and everything. And then after 10 minutes, Russell came in and said, where's the duck? I say, in the bin. I say, Russell, I'm not making that cake again in a hurry. Then I say, wait. I went and dug it out. It was so solid that it still stayed in shape, but it has a crack in the front.
Yeah.
And can you see it in the book?
With the bow. You then had to cover it up
Hide
with
it with a bow. And then
Yeah.
people don't notice. No one complained about the crack or anything. And it was a duck from the bin.
I think the kids are gonna love that story.
Yeah, that story, that's a very
That's
fun
so cool.
story.
It is.
And Agnes,
Very
And-
Bluey-esque as
But
well.
that proved that the duck don't necessarily, the neck is the weakness. It might be the front where the crack is. The whole duck got up from the bin and it stood perfectly normal.
and Agnes, have you watched Bluey? Are you familiar
Yes,
with Bluey?
yes, I'm.
And you've seen the duck cake episode?
Yes,
Yeah.
they were so happy and the duck head came off. But I say that's the part that the cookbook, the kid cookbook is about. The whole
Yes.
family enjoyed it, and even when they have failure, sometimes they send in the failure to show us their failure, and they were happy about it and say the whole family had fun and everyone just grabbed. I want the eye, I want the nose, and
Yeah.
we never thought of it when we made the cake and say they will be torn apart like that.
Oh, that's brilliant. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you all on the 10th.
Yeah.
Yes.
So nice to meet you, Agnes. So nice to see you,
So
Tiff.
nice to see you
Lovely to see
too.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
Nice,
you.
nice
Bye.
meeting you all.
Bye.
You too,
Take
bye.
care.
Whoop.